Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to install Genie Voice Command onto the computer. It's very simple. The most important thing to remember is to install it as an administrator. If you do not install it as an administrator, it will not install properly and it will not work properly. Okay, so, and then you have to the second thing you need to know is you need to install it in the proper location, but we'll get to that. So, here is Genie Voice Command, EXE. It's for Maya 2017, and this same setup EXE is good for Maya Lite and regular Maya and the student version of Maya. So if you had more than one version of Maya 2017, say you had Maya Lite and then you rented, you were working and you rented 1 month regular Maya 2017, it would work for both. But you'd have to install it twice so that it's installed in the correct folders for each. Okay, so first thing you do is you right mouse click on it and you run as administrator. And Windows 10 is slightly different, but if you've been working with Windows 10 at all, you understand. You right mouse click on it and you run it as administrator, and you have to click yes, you want to continue and what have you. And so okay. So when you're running as administrator, you click yes to continue. You get this first window, and very important, if you have Maya open, close it now. The reason for that is that if you have it open, it's not the end of the world. You'll just have to close it and restart Maya before you'll be able to use Genie Voice Command, because the menu for Genie Voice Command and the files, okay, Maya, when it starts up, looks into the scripts folder and looks for any mail files and other files that are in there that it's going to be using. And so if you add files to that scripts folder after it's started, Maya doesn't know it's there. So that's why. So you need to shut it down or close it before you install Genie Voice Command. You don't have to, but you'll have to close it down before you can use Genie Voice Command. So you might as well shut it down first before you install it. Believe me, it will cause less headaches in the long run. Wondering why Genie Voice Command isn't working, it's because if you had left it open, that's why. If you left it open, you'd have to close it down and restart it. Okay, so that's enough. Okay, so you click next, and of course it takes it to your licensing agreement. I highly recommend going through the licensing agreement. It tells you what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, and it also basically says that if your computer blows up because of, or becomes damaged because of Genie Voice Command, you can't sue me. That's basically in every single user's agreement you've ever clicked on to accept. If you go through it, there's that clause that says you can't sue the person in case it damages your computer. That's just standard. So, okay, and you can't go on until you accept. So, read it. If you accept the terms, click I accept the agreement and click next. Okay, now we got to the part of the product key. Okay, in the email that you received the Genie Voice Command EXE file in will also be the product key for your copy of Genie Voice Command. So all you have to do is go open up your email, highlight the product key, and with the dashes and everything, just highlight the key. I'm sure you've all seen them, a bunch of letters and numbers, dash, letters and numbers, dash, letters and numbers, dash, letters and numbers. You just highlight that, copy it, Control-C to copy, and then just click in the product key here and Control-V to paste it. And then you click next. Okay, now this is the part where it's really important to install Genie Voice Command in the proper folder. Okay, and the proper folder is inside your My Documents or Documents. Maya, the year or version of it's in, and then Scripts. Scripts will be inside the year and the version. And you can see here it already starts you off inside the Maya folder of the documents. And you can't move forward because this is grayed out because you have to go to the proper place. And it's going to take you right into that Maya folder. So just double click on the Maya folder, and we're going to be installing it into Maya 2017 Lite, or LT. I have different versions of Maya installed on my computer, as you can see. But we're installing it, this one, into 2017 LT. That's the only 2017 I have. Okay, beware. In the Mayas folder, there is a second scripts folder that's just inside the Maya folder. You do not want to install it here. You do not want to install it there. So we're installing it in 2017 LT. So we're going to double click on that, and then we're going to click just once on the scripts. You can double click on it, but it's not going to take you anywhere because that's the last folder in the chain. If you have other things installed in the scripts folder that have folders, if you double click on it, it would take you inside the folder itself, the scripts. But as long as you have the scripts folder selected, you click OK. And you click Next. And now here's where you can give it a name, because it's going to create a folder in the Start menu folders with this name. And that's because there's going to be two files in that folder. One's going to be Maya, or Genie Voice Control, or Voice Command, I'm sorry, Genie Voice Command, and Genie Voice Command uninstall file, so that you can uninstall Genie Voice Command pretty easily just by double-clicking that folder, or that file, and following the on-screen instructions, which is just a couple of clicks. Okay, so I'm going to name this Maya Voice Command 2017 LT. So, like I said, you might have two different versions of Maya 2017. So there's going to be two different folders. So you might want to name one and one the other so you understand. So if you wanted to uninstall one, you could without uninstalling it. Okay, so we named it that. We're going to click on Next. And if you want to create a desktop, just click here. But I'm not going to create a desktop shortcut. So I'm going to click Next, and this just says this is the location you're installing it, and this is the name of the folder you're going to get it in the startup menu. Click Yes, and then this comes through here. Thank you for purchasing my product. All rights reserved. You just click there, and now it's installed. Okay, now we can start Maya Lite. And so we come here. I'm renting it from Steam. And I'm starting 2017. And each version only works with that year's version of Maya. So if you try to install Maya Genie Voice Command for, say, into 2016, and that you have the one for 2017, it ain't going to work. It will install it, but when you try to use it, it ain't going to run. The window will probably open up, but it ain't going to, I shouldn't say ain't a word. It isn't going to work in 2016. They're two separate programs. Okay, so I'm going to close this, and you'll notice I have a new menu at the top of my screen in Maya called Voice Control. So if you click on that, if you do not have Maya Lite, and you just have the regular full version of Maya or the student version, to activate Genie Voice Command, all you have to do is click on Voice Control and then activate Voice Control. Okay, as you see, I get an error, but that's because the command to start up the Genie Voice Command doesn't work in Maya LT. It's limited. You know, Maya LT is limited. They don't allow you to have everything the full version of Maya has. And one of the limitations that Maya LT has is it limits certain script functions, certain Mel script functions, and so it won't allow the program to open. That's why you get this error. But not to worry if you have Maya Lite. All you have to do is come over here, go to your All Programs, find your Genie Voice Command, and whatever you named it, click on it, and see there's the uninstall, and you just click on Genie Voice Command.
Voice Control Ready for Maya. Created
now I
by
don't know if you
Ether
can
K.
hear the computer,
I am listening.
but the computer is talking to me.
Say wait for me to start listening.
Okay, and I just put it
Or press wait
into
button.
sleep mode. I'm not sure if you can hear, but the computer talks to you when you first start up the program, gives you a bit of instructions. And so, but I'm not going to go over this whole interface. I'm going to go over that in another video. This is just how to install Genie Voice Command. So I'm going to close this. Okay, so that's how you start the program in Maya Lite. And then you have other things like getting started, frequently asked questions, about Genie Voice Command, command search. This is very, very important. These are a list of all of the voice commands in the whole thing. Okay, there's over 5,000 of them. But if you want to look up a particular voice command, I usually recommend just doing it, figuring out what's the most keyword. So say bi-rail, and you want bi-rail. Bi-rail. Type in bi-rail, hit enter. Here are all the commands for bi-rails. Okay, those are all the commands. So you can very quickly pick out how to say it. Now, most of the time, almost over 90% of the time, it's, if you want to know how you're supposed to say a command, just go to the menu and look how it's labeled in the menus. So extrude is extrude, detach is detach, connect, collapse, bridge. These are all those. That's the command. There are a few exceptions, and one of them is extrude. Because sometimes Autodesk uses the same label or the same text in two different menus, and they do two totally different things. This one extrudes for polygons, and this extrudes for surfaces. And so this particular command, when you say extrude, is for polygons. Okay. To extrude on a NURB or a surface, it's the name of the menu and then the word extrude. Now you can say surface extrude or surfaces extrude. Either one. I programmed it in for both because I figure sometimes somebody has a surface selected and they want to extrude it. They might not remember that it's surfaces extrude because they're only extruding a single surface. So I programmed into Genie Voice Command I programmed into Genie Voice Command both. So yeah, you can say surface extrude or surfaces extrude. You can say either one. But I am going to go in another video that goes through all of this, as far as, shows the exceptions so that you know how to do it. So I just thought I'd go over that real quick with you. One other exception that I will say in this video, because I think it's very, very important, because it's a command you're going to be using a lot. And that's how to delete stuff, or that's how to do the delete command. Okay. It's not just delete, and it's not edit delete, although that would make sense. Delete is one of the very first commands that I ever programmed. So if you want to delete anything, it's delete object. I have it delete object instead of just the word delete. So in case somebody walks into your office and asks you a question, and you say, they say, what key do I hit to do this? And you just say, delete. You don't want to accidentally delete something you were working on all day, accidentally. Yes, you could probably hit Control-Z or say undo, and it will undo. Or, but just to be on the safe side. And when you say delete object, it's deleting, it's the same command even if you're not deleting technically an object. Like say, you're deleting an animation out of the outliner. You selected in the outliner and you said delete object. You would say delete object even if it's technically not an object. Now, the other thing you got to remember is that when you say delete object, or even, I believe this is the same thing even when you just click on delete here, it's the same as hitting delete on the keyboard. The key delete, you know, the on your keyboard that says delete. It's the same thing as doing that. So if you're deleting an edge, everybody's had that experience when they just started out with Maya, of selecting several edges and, you know, selecting several edges and you know, hitting the delete key. Oh, it's gone. It looks like it's gone. And then you go to vertex mode. And, well, you'd think there would be... Where are they? Of course, sure. It makes me a liar now. In the past, maybe they fixed that with my 2017. In the past, if you had hit the delete key, when you said delete, it would leave these vertices just floating in empty space. In the past, that's what would have happened. Thank you, Maya Autodesk. But in the past, that's what would happen. And I think I could have swore I've tried it in here in the past. And it did the same thing. Yeah, see, there it is. Okay, see, it did it there. See, I have these vertices just sticking out here, you know. And that's just by hitting the delete key. So I was either half right or Autodesk half fixed it. One or the other. So instead of deleting an edge like that, it's under Edit Mesh, you would just say delete edge. Or you could say delete edge vertex. But I have it to where you can just say delete edge. And there you can see it got rid of the vertices. So just to prove that's the case, let me do a little demonstration.
Voice control ready door Maya. Created by Peter McKay. I am listening.
Okay, and as you notice that it started up the program, and then I had to click into here to give Genie Voice Command focus. So I'll select an edge. Edge. Contiguous edge. Or I could say continuous edge. Delete edge. See? Vertex. X-ray. X-ray. New scene. Don't save. Create polygon cube. Delete history. Freeze transformation. Bevel. Wireframe unshaded. Delete history. Face. Soft select on. Soft select off. Hide grid. Extrude. Convert to edge. Bevel. Attribute editor. Enter. Two edge loop. Soften edge. Vertex. expand, convert to contained edges, soften edge, vertex, expand, convert to contained edges, soften edge, show grid, object, wireframe unshaded, flat shade all, smooth shade all, wireframe, smooth shade all, wireframe unshaded, X-ray, X-ray, backface culling, backface culling, preferences, hotkey editor, hypershade, plugin manager, plugin manager, so let me just turn off. So anyway, so that was a quick demonstration. I could have gone a lot faster than that, but I was just sort of taking my time. But you can see you can do things very quickly, and you probably already know several hundred commands just off the top of your head, because that's what you've been calling them for all these years in Maya when you refer to something, you know, deleting an edge, or delete, this or that, or create, CV curve tool, to say CV curve tool. A lot of things are what I call toggle commands, like X-ray. You say X-ray, it will turn it on. Say X-ray again, it turns it off. So a lot of things are toggle, and they're usually, if they're a toggle command, like X-ray is a toggle command. A lot of things are toggle command. Like I said, you'll get used to it once you start using it. And like I said, I'm going to go over all this in another video, along with the different exceptions, as I've already gone over a little bit. And so that's it. We will hopefully, thank you very much for buying Genie Voice Command. I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope it really helps you out and speeds up your workflow, so it lets you get back to doing what you love the most, which is creating and not hunting through different menus. You don't have to be in the menu set. You can be in any menu set and call a function, call a command, even if it's not up here. So it doesn't matter what menu set you're in. You can call all the edit, mesh commands, even though you're in animation. So that's one of the great things about Genie Voice Command. Or if you don't remember where they've put it, because they moved things in 2017, and you're used to 2014 or 15, and they've moved it into a different menu, as long as you know what the command is, you can just say it. You don't have, so that should help a lot too. Alrighty, well, have a great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.